So some of you might think this is just a pile of bits. Well, it is a pile of bits, but it's my pile of bits. This is my project. I'm about to load it up and take it down to the tyre centre, get the tyres removed, and then drop everything off at the powder coaters. Some of you are asking me, the frame's been powder coated already, why are you redoing it? Well, simple, it's crap. That's the technical term for it. It's thick, it's patchy, it's brittle, and it is the wrong colour. So if you look closely, you'll see here, where I've bolted some parts on, it's just falling apart. And for a high quality custom build, I can't accept that. You'll see from my wartime Jeep and my Mustang, when I finally do a little video on the quality that I expect. For one, the stuff that I'm putting together, but also what I'm paying other people to do. So time to load this into the car and head off. Let's hope that I can get everything in here without folding the seats down. No, unfortunately not. I'm going to have to do a bit of seat folding. Or will I? Let's see. So the car's loaded, ready to drop all the bits off. I'm actually getting really excited now. I mean, it was only yesterday that I finished stripping the frame. So yeah, fingers crossed we can get them back within about 10 days. That would be really good. Anyway, stay tuned. Today's quite an exciting day. I've got all the bits back from Powder Coater. I've had a sneaky look at it, and I tell you, I had a little bit of weepage down below because it was really quite exciting to see my stuff actually come back in a nice way. So as you can see, I've got all my parts unwrapped. Seriously, it feels like Christmas, and it's only November. Jamie's done an absolutely amazing job on all these bits. These were the alley side plates for the frame that I chopped off the bits for. The swinging arm, he's done an amazing job with masking everything up. The wheels, all the bits where the discs sit, the bearings sit, everything is just pristine clean. The adjusters for the swinging arm, for the chain, and he's done an amazing job on the caliper carrier. Now this is actually Cerakote, I think it was Cerakote, and it's not powder. What it does, it gives it a hard finish, and you can use this on carburetors, other engine parts, because it's also hard wearing and resistant, but it comes in lots of different colours. So Cerakote is another one. The tray that I made up for the electrics, I had to have this reblasted because this was so thick with the powder coat from the Gate people. But if you look at that, it just looks beautiful. And to be fair, you're never even going to see this, but I know it's there. And the frame has done an amazing job. Now I'll show you the chipped frame and then the good part of the frame. It just, I'm so pleased that I spent the extra money, and it was a lot extra, to get all of this done. So now the next bit, I need to get the motor onto the bench and put the frame around the motor. Time to get changed, time to have another brew and do the bit I've been waiting so long to do. I really am excited. Next week I'm going to take the tank and the seat down to Image Design Custom, and Tom, the guys who did my car, they're going to do my bodywork for me. So we're going to go and talk some colours. I pretty much know what colour I want, but it's getting the right shade of it. So yeah, fingers crossed, in about 3 to 4 weeks I'll have all the tank and everything back as well, and we can get on with the build over the Christmas break, and hopefully maybe get some of the electrics finished, and who knows, by the end of January I might have this bike actually done. Anyway, let's crack cracking. You there? Camera's rolling. Okay. As you can see, motor's on the bench ready, frame's ready. I've put the cups in for the headways bearings already. This is just a case of lifting the frame over the top of the engine. Once that's mounted, I'll lift the whole lot onto the jack, and then we can jack it up and put the swinging arm in, put the forks in. So this is where I've got to be really careful. I will cry if I damage this, and there's nobody else to blame but me. Now it's time to just be super careful, lifting the frame over the engine and placing the engine bolts in so that I can get it all prepared for torquing up and making sure I don't crack any of the powder coat because it's still fresh and it needs to harden properly before I can be too rough. Okay, I'm quite pleased how that's gone. It's gone a lot better than I thought it was going to. Just get the last bolts in place, and I'm going to tighten that up. Once I've tightened all that up, I shall put the bearings into the swinging arm and we'll get the swinging arm mounted. Once the swing arm is mounted, I'll probably put the old stock suspension unit back in because I do have to get the spring changed on the Nitron one I've got, and then we can get the whole lot lifted up and set of forks put in. I think that'll probably be it for today, depending on how time goes. So I think one of the things that makes this frame easy to mount with the engine is this little cookie. Can you see that? Basically this bolts onto here on the frame, and this makes it really easy to slot it over the top. Now a lot of people don't use a torque wrench. They don't believe in them. They just think, I'll do it X tight. Well, torques are there for a reason. The manufacturers, when they build these things, have torque settings for all the different bolts. Now, I do love a torque wrench. Now I have copper slipped all these up, so they will be easy to undo in the future. Hopefully they will never need to be undone. But good old manual. This manual gives you everything you really need to know. And this is probably my favourite tool, which is my digital torque wrench. I do love it. It makes beeping noises. But anyway, let's set this for the top clamps. So the top ones are 22 Newton meters. Okay, and if my memory serves me correct, it's actually 12 mil, and I've picked up 14. So this is the bit that I like. So we do these to 22 Newton meters, 18, 22. So I've got a bit of a confession to make. I didn't lift the frame and the engine onto the stand on my own. I did go next door and get my neighbour. He gave me a lift, and while I was at it, I've made myself a fresh coffee, and I'm actually stood over a heater. It's cold in my workshop. Now this is a big space to heat, and I think the next few months is going to be a bit cold in here, so it's going to be lots of thermals. Put the space heater on, crack on the music, and head down. So the next job is press these swinging arm bearings back in, put the seals in, refit the swinging arm. I'm excited to see the swinging arm and the side bits fitted because it was bare alley. Now it's all powder coated beautifully. Right, time to get this vice in action. You know, sometimes there's just jobs that you got to do that you need a specific tool for, and this is where a hydraulic press would actually be really, really helpful. So I started off pressing that suspension bearing in with the G-clamp just to start it. Then I used the vice to press it the last bit. I didn't film it because it's really quite a tedious job, a lot of fiddling about. So now I've got the swinging arm bearings themselves to press in. Quite a weird setup on this. So this is what you've got. You've got two roller bearings and the sleeve one side, and then the other side you've literally got two bearings like that with a spacer at the end. So I now got to press all of those in, and I remember taking them out was a real, it was a ball ache. So again, I'm not going to film that. I'll just crack on, press all those in, and then once they're all ready, we'll then mount the frame and the swinging arm together, which is kind of another little milestone, which I'm really quite excited to do. So I'm going to crack on with that now. So if someone wants to donate me a hydraulic press, then this job would be so much easier. Anyway, time for me to get on with that. So swinging arm's all done, all the bearings have been pressed in, re-greased, all the seals popped in, ready for installation. But before I install that, these have got to go on. These are the side pivots for the frame, which will go here. Once they're on, I can slot the chain over the front sprocket and then we can pop the swinging arm in. So what we'll do on these, we'll pop a little bit of blue thread lock on each one. If I can get it to come out, bit of blue thread lock. And if I remember correctly, the longer one goes in the bottom. And the shorter one goes in the top. If we just set it to 50 Newton meters. Swinging arm bolt, which I have there. Good old bit of copper slip. Metal on metal, it's always a good idea to use copper slip. It will help anything that's touching itself to reduce its wear and make it move rather than rub. It's good practice. Plus, I like copper slip. It's nice. Okay, get ready to slot this. Firstly, through here, and then we can slot it into place. So roughly, swinging arm is in. Let's just wiggle that last bit. Get a persuader. And the persuader is persuading, I hope. Yep. Cool. Swinging arm in. Get that bolted up, torqued up, and then get suspension in. Today's been a good day. We've made some really good progress. So we've mounted the frame onto the motor. The swinging arm has had all the bearings repacked with grease, pressed back in, and now the swinging arm is fitted. Chain is fitted. Next thing to do will be fit the suspension, fit the forks, and go on from there. But for now, I'm going to call it a day. If you want to continue watching my Project Cafe Racer, click the subscribe, click the ding dong bell. Any comments you want, leave down below. It's all good for my algorithms. Until then, this is the end of episode 3. Bye-bye.